Hello there. How are you?
Hello,
Do you
how are
say it
you?
Vilas? Do you say Vilas? How do you say it?
Vilas?
Benas. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me get this. I got to work on the accents. This is what happens to me with my pretending that I can speak Spanish.
Oh, you gotta add a little that little.
Yeah.
I have a Midwestern accent, so I mess it up all the time. So,
I'm like so bad. And even when I see an accent, am I cockeyed? Oh, there I am. Even when I see the accent mark, it's like I hesitate. You get so nervous that you're gonna do something wrong or say
yeah,
something wrong. It's
right, yeah.
it's really interesting for sure. I'm so glad you could join us. This is going to be fun. Okay, wait a minute. Did you just come from work?
Huh?
Did
No,
you?
we're off on Friday.
We're off
Oh,
on Friday.
No, we were out and about, and then I was going too slow. So, and then it was sandy. It's like a mess. So I was like, let me make sure. Um, and then like when something's like 5 minutes away with traffic, it takes 20 minutes.
yeah, I get it.
So no, we
Mhm.
were out and about, like it's like Saturday.
Oh, you.
So
Oh, see,
yeah,
that's nice. You were hanging. Do you work at the same place?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Listen. Now,
Oh, God.
say again.
Oh, we couldn't hear you. I think it cut out.
Yeah, I, it's so frustrating. I said, do you work at the same place?
No, no. I work in the oil and gas industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you?
So,
So you don't work on Friday either?
no. Friday is like Saturday
Yeah,
for the entire world over here.
Oh, I get
yeah.
it.
So it's
Oh,
like Friday, Saturday here instead of Saturday, Sunday.
I see. So it's cultural.
But it's like a holy day. Yeah, it's like the Muslim holy day. You know, like
I see.
Sundays are Sabbath for Christian. Everybody's off on Friday, and then half the country's off on Saturdays. Now, not everybody gets a 2 day weekend here. Most people just get a 1 day weekend.
I see. Oh, well, see, I learned something new because I don't
Yeah.
know much about, excuse me, Muslim culture, religion, all that. I'm still on a little bit of a learning curve. So it
Well,
was,
that's understandable.
yeah, definitely. So tell me now, how did you end up convincing him to do this?
No, it was
Ah,
easier than I thought. He likes a little bit of attention and a talk, and he's a talker too. So, and then we got the third person who wants to hop in here and say hi. The
Hi.
third, he's
Yes, you
being bad.
sweetie.
He's gotta go. He's gotta go. So I got to He's bad. Go away. Sorry. So yeah, it was easy. He likes to
Well, good.
talk, share. Yeah. So
So tell me a
it
little bit about because we talked about you before.
yeah.
mm-hmm.
It was all good stuff though. I don't know if you had a
Oh,
chance to see, but it was all good. I just want you to know.
okay.
Oh,
um,
so
tell me a
what we
little
do?
bit about how you guys met and then I really would love to. I love the cat in the background. This is just I miss having a pet. No, I really do. I miss having a pet, and
Anytime you want.
it's just, oh.
I'll send him over. It'll be okay. Just put him in a plane. Oh
it
gosh.
it
Okay.
just makes it I wish we could have one here. And we probably could technically have one, but the thing is
Mhm.
about the care of a cat. And if
Oh,
we travel back to the states or whatever, we really don't have a friendship group here that I could say, would you take my cat? Would you watch my
uh,
dog or
right.
that kind of thing? Not yet, anyway. We're working on it. But enough about me because we can talk about how that works out for you guys. But how did you guys meet?
So we met through Tinder.
Good
You
old Tinder.
did.
Sometimes it works. It
It
takes a lot of
does.
swiping. It takes a lot of swiping though.
Yeah, it does.
To find a website. And then to find somebody.
not
Uh,
many options for boys as for like
oh
the
yeah,
girls.
it's good for us in the Middle East for women because they're well depending on again what you're looking for. The ratio of men to women is great. It's so much more men than it is women. So we like
Oh.
have our pick out here. Yeah, it's nice.
Oh.
It's,
It's nice, she says. And you've
yeah,
been
I
on.
know what it's like, but I mean,
So,
I have fun.
so
So,
for,
yeah,
for
go
men,
ahead.
for men most of the women would be like from the Philippines because
Yeah.
Qatar
Oh,
Airways has a lot of Filipino uh,
Uh,
ho- air hostesses over here.
I see.
So a lot of women would be like Filipino. So it doesn't really like I couldn't really gel with Filipino women, like make friends or like not just for like Tinder or like dating. Like in general, I couldn't make friends with Filipino people. So
Ah, interesting.
I was
And
fortunate to have NT.
he ends up with the American.
he ends up with the American.
Yeah,
And
uh,
how long ago was that?
huh?
That was in August of 2018.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Almost 3 years.
no
Yeah.
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. We're like a old we've been around the block already
I
with this
gotcha.
expat baby thing. So yeah.
Right.
3 years. Yeah. Yeah, almost 3 years.
And you're an expat as well, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. From
Yeah.
India.
Uh huh. From India. And you were you there longer than NT was there?
In
Mhm.
Qatar for about 4 4 5 months. Like
Yeah.
I
Oh,
came here in February, and she came to Qatar, I think, in August.
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 oh, so actually not that far apart though. Yeah.
No, no. And then so a friend and I got on Tinder as a joke. Like we're like, we'll go on it. And then yeah, we met each other in August. But we didn't really start taking like each other seriously until about October. So
Uh-huh.
it took us a little while. But once we did, we've been like inseparable ever
Uh,
since.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
really sweet. That's wonderful,
Oh, wow.
actually.
Yeah.
That obviously makes the transition as an expat easier. I mean, I'm just saying. I guess as an expat myself,
Yeah.
although of course we came here, together. I'm married, so we came together. However, connecting with others is not as easy as I would like. Do you guys find it easy
Oh,
to connect with others?
um,
Connect with others,
like other expats.
other expats,
Expats or not, just anybody.
anybody. It takes time. It takes time. Like
Hmm.
you you really don't know where people have come from and like what their background has been. What is the reason that they have come to this place? Is it just the money? Is it they have to they have come because they wanted to leave their life behind, like it was
Uh,
not good and they want to start over or something?
hmm.
So you really can't judge a person over here by just looking at them like or meeting them for like 1 or 2 times. You need to know how they actually gel with people.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like there are people, if you say there are people who would like to meet you but only like to meet you at brunches.
Oh, I see. Really?
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's
the other person, like me, for me, I don't really do brunches, and I don't really like to go to a hip like a club or something, because
Hmm.
loud music is something which I don't really enjoy.
Right, 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 right.
I won't gel with people who only want to go to a club.
Hmm.
Yeah,
yeah.
or like only want to go to a brunch scene. But yes, outside, yes, I can gel with them, definitely.
Got it.
So you take time to understand how people are over here.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it reminds me of like the Instagram world. Like you have your
Mm.
yoga friends, or like for me, I do have brunch friends I go to brunch and happy hour with. I have work people, and then I have my book club booze, or you just have
Yes, yes, yes,
different.
yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then like culturally, there aren't as many Americans here as there
Mm-hmm.
are Indians. So he has a he runs
Ah,
an so then you hang out with people more from your own cultural background. So
true.
it's but here it's just really different because a lot of people, at least in my opinion, most of us come here for work. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you talk about, I mean, and then to that leads to a better life and better opportunities. But most people here for work and the
Or for
benefits
work.
financially. So it's a I find that the expat population here tends to be a little bit. Not that I've had a lot of experiences. He's had more. He's lived other places, but it's just different. It's just very different with connecting with people because you're just working.
You
I
just
mean,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. And I'm doing a comparison in my mind. For us, I think being on the other end of the spectrum in terms of
Mhm.
age, and our transition here really being about sort of, well, Fred's fully retired. I
That's what I
say
was telling you.
semi retired.
Okay.
So the reason for coming is different, and it may be form and function of this is a small place. We're moving, by the way, not out of
Okay.
Spain, but we're going to move to Malaga.
Oh,
Um,
what?
it is actually about 45 minutes north of here. Still Costa del
Okay.
Sol, still southern Spain. But well, let's put it this way, it used to be a cruise port.
Ooh, okay. Those
it's
are
uh,
interesting places to be.
it's
Okay.
not like Barcelona. I don't know if you've been to
Oh
Spain or any
yeah.
of the cities. It's it's
Yeah,
not
Barcelona.
it's not as how do I describe it? It may be in terms of size spread out like Barcelona.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere is a bit different. There aren't as many. I mean, there's a couple of universities there, but when we were in Barcelona, we found that there were a lot of students. There were a lot of people
Mhm.
from various countries who were
Yeah.
studying there, that kind of thing. We have been to Malaga before, but strictly by cruise. But nonetheless, it's sort of a combination of a business city. It is the capital, so to speak, of Malaga province.
Okay.
Uh, um, but it has a diverse population, age, race, religion. There's
Okay.
businesses here or there, I should
Yeah.
say. Here where we are, it's like super
It's
limited.
a small town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
used to,
Okay.
when I was in high school, I grew up in New Jersey. You got on the bus and you went to New York
Oh
City, and
yeah.
you
You.
you know, you hung out.
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
and we're used to having a lot more cultural activities. So it's a little
Mhm.
bit different because
Okay.
Spanish folks, especially in a little small place, we find that if they don't know you,
Yeah.
they don't really, the longer we've been here, it's kind of like you, the more you kind of connect with people, but it's like the woman at the grocery store, or you go to the
Well,
pharmacy, or,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but
You're
you
moving
don't
into a
have,
town full of expats. It's a like a
yes,
established community already, and not so transient. It sounds like.
right,
Where
yes.
okay.
So there are a lot more expats. There are a lot more in Malaga, diverse expats, and so we're kind of looking forward to it. I mean, I'm used to going. It's like, oh, let's go listen to some jazz. It's like there's no jazz
Yeah.
around.
None, not there. It's like, oh, you just
Yeah,
make but you're so plenty busy with all your you're
right.
just so
So we're
busy.
looking forward to that, and hopefully developing, some connections and some relationships, particularly as our Spanish gets better. But anyway, so I'm listening with that sort of expat ear, but also there really is a difference. Sure, there's a
Yeah.
difference culturally here.
80% of the population here is expats. 80%.
Wow.
80% from all over the world.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
places I never knew existed. 80% of the
so
population.
this place is like a place for only work.
Yeah.
Like
Ah,
you come over here, you come over here for work. You
Yeah.
don't come over here to settle down.
That's
yeah,
true.
I
That's a
got
good
it.
point.
I got
Yeah.
it. Uh-huh.
So
Because when
you
you
make
can't.
money and you go to some place where
Yeah.
you want to really settle down.
Right.
Like you make money for
Oh,
like 5 years, 6 years, something like that, and then you go off to a place like where you want to like really settle down, because there are no trees, there are no
We're
they're not
both in like.
trees.
there is no greenery.
Yeah. Well, there we went to a park. We went to a park today because it's a desert. So a lot of stuff, like when you see my pictures of the park, it has to be imported. The grass is imported. The
Oh,
trees are imported. But I really like this country because they try to bring in so much green space. Like we were just wandering around and found a. They just built a new park out of nowhere in the middle
wow.
of the city, and it's gorgeous. But when you're used to, well, I'm used to more, like I'm from Indiana, I'm from the Midwest, so it's green. We got cornfields not too far
Yeah,
away,
right.
and then you come to the desert, it's like, it's so deserty. Like,
Yeah, it's
and then
difficult.
Delhi's kind of,
Like for me, Delhi, I my college was about 60 70 kilometers from my house,
uh-huh.
and it was like a 2 hour drive. And my college was in the middle of like like cornfield, no, not cornfields. We have what do you call wheat, rice fields,
Shit.
or
Yes,
something
yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes. Yeah.
We don't really grow in India. So so there's a lot of greenery, and if you drive like for 10 hours, you can go to the hills. You have like rivers. You have such you can do adventurous things, like go for a hike or something, like you can't do over here. You can complete, like you can go from north to south in this country within like 2 hours. You 2 hour
Wow.
drive north to south, you can drive.
yeah, that's
No
it.
kidding.
So like so with the when everything was on lockdown, everybody like there was nowhere for us to go. We're in the main city right now. Like they're really trying to develop, but we had like in the states you can go from New Jersey to New York. There's
Right.
there's no. We're just in Doha. That's it. I mean, but they're trying. It's a rapidly developing country. My goodness. They are
Mm-hmm.
building like crazy. It's beautiful. It's still worth it, but it's just different depending on where you come from. It's
Mm-hmm.
just very like it can be unusual, I guess, to put it.
Fascinating. That is really
Yeah.
fascinating. Well,
Yeah.
tell
So
me
and
about a little bit. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh
I'll ask.
no, I
I
was
want to ask the question in a minute, but go ahead.
I was gonna say too. I almost forgot. He just reminded me. I learned this not too long ago. I think when you hit 60, 65, you actually have to exit the country. Like once you hit a certain age, then you have to
Really?
leave. Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
unless you're like somebody is ready to sponsor you and like pay you money over here. But companies
Oh,
don't really need that liability,
Oh
because
my goodness.
if you are paying an employee, you have to pay for his medical expenses as well, and
right.
like an insurance or something. So if you're 65, you're more of a liability than an asset to the company.
Fascinating.
So you can't settle down over
Yeah,
here.
not at all. But
No. Okay, I could
no,
come
and
visit,
just
but
tell
I
you,
couldn't live there, huh? I'm too old.
come visit.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a great place to live. It is a good place. Like this is my first. He's lived in Bahrain. Like this isn't his first.
Oh, I see.
I lived in Bahrain for about 2 years.
Yeah. But for me, this is my very first um, move abroad, and it was perfect. It really is a good place to live temporarily.
Yeah,
It
gotcha.
is. It's fun. You have fun. You get to meet a lot of people. Like my friendship circle, Indian, Qatari, Filipino, Iranian. It is beautiful. Like I have such a diverse body of friends. I couldn't get that anywhere else.
No, no,
So
you
it's
really
it's,
couldn't.
it's great. Yeah. No.
Wow. I'm learning so much. Well, I'll have to come visit before you leave.
We're not going to anytime soon. Come on over.
Please
I'm,
do come with this class.
I be ready. I already told my husband. We were actually trying to get to that area of the world, but prior to
Uh-huh.
COVID. Um,
I
but we
know.
still have intentions. We still have intentions. So tell me a little bit about your relationships. I know about her relationship a little bit with yoga. And I did hear a little bit about your relationship together and some discussions about yoga, but I would really like to be able to talk a little bit about that because I think people will find it interesting, given that there is this, and I don't know if you are on Instagram from a yoga standpoint, but there's so much discussion about co opting the culture
Yeah.
of
Mm-hmm.
yoga and the lack of representation, particularly for people of East Indian descent, but people in color in general. So I would really like to talk about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like,
So like, what is in like
what does yoga mean to
yoga
you?
like in
Me?
India? Like, what's it like in Delhi?
Okay, so yoga in Delhi. So over here, when I came to, like, when I met NT and when I knew that she is going for yoga and other things, uh, I didn't know really what vinyasa is and what like hot yoga is, and because in Delhi, or when you go and like when you, so we have the government has set up a dedicated ministry for yoga
Mm-hmm.
in India.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom used to work in the government, and we used to go to this organization, and we could go there and learn yoga from people who have no intention towards business, like they are appointed by the government to teach yoga.
Wow.
So and
That's a
there is
good
nothing
point.
like, oh, we have a session for hot yoga, or we have a session for like vinyasa,
Helipad yoga.
or a helipad
Helipad.
yoga or something like that.
Yeah, we
It's
did that
it's
together.
it's just it's real asanas. You talk about real asana, nothing else. You just talk about asanas. The asanas that you do today are something you talk about. You don't talk about helipad yoga. You don't talk about like fancy thing. You
Yes,
don't talk
yes.
about that. And
Wow.
it's generally done in a park, or in a classroom or something like that. It's not done on a helipad at all. And we for me, I was in a school, and I was fortunate enough that we had a yoga teacher. He was he taught us yoga, and like I started from class 1 or class 2, I guess.
The
Yeah,
elementary school.
yeah.
Okay, like okay,
So
elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
so
Like as little
after
kids.
kindergarten we start like class 1 to until 12. We
Mm-hmm.
don't
Mm-hmm.
have like high, we don't call it high school or junior school or
I
something
see.
like that. We don't call that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yoga has been like, even now if I start yoga, it'll not be as difficult for me to understand it. Like it'll be difficult for me to do it because I'm fat right now. But uh
We got our quarantine. We have our quarantine weight on
but but understand the use of that asana wouldn't be as difficult for me as
Yes.
it would be for a new person. And to go over here to go for a yoga class, it is so expensive.
us.
It is so expensive
Wow.
over
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, helipad yoga costs the costs
yeah.
the grip. Like, yeah. Just it's go sorry.
So it's more of a business. It's more of a business than something that you would like to learn.
Right.
Like what about people who really can't afford yoga,
Right.
like over here,
Yeah.
right? So
But would have the
mm,
benefits of it if they could. There isn't
yeah, true.
the cultural giving aspects of it. All the parts of yoga. Why, providing a hisma. Why wouldn't you do that for someone?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So when we met, and then I'm explaining to him what my practice looks like, and then all the things that I've done, he's just like, "What?" Like it's just so, like he was saying, it's so mind blowing. And then explaining to him, like, I call how yoga has been gentrified, or like, I mean, the
Yeah.
more I'm over here, the more I'm learning. But to like, it was just like people described as soccer moms, or explaining to him how expensive it was, or that I was doing hot yoga and all these like insane things. And sometimes me being able to practice is challenging because I don't look at it so simplistic. I'm used to all these like grandiose
Mm.
ways of practice. Although with the pandemic, I have learned that my front room, right where this is it. My
Mhm.
mat, wherever it is, that's where I practice. But beforehand, it was like I have to go to this studio and somewhere amazing, and showing them pictures like the studio, and he's like, okay, like this is not that deep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow. So give me an
So if
example,
you, if
like
you
that special helipad. You talked a little bit about that before, but like what would be the equivalent cost? Let's just say US dollars that
Uh,
cost. I'm
oh gosh,
curious.
I can look at. But the other thing about Qatar is that Qatar is extra, meaning that
Got it.
they do everything on a whole other level. So everything, a lot of things here are expensive. So I think the helipad yoga, I want to say it was like
Mhm.
40 dollars
Mhm.
per person.
Per person.
So yeah, it's expensive.
you
Um,
could actually in $30 you could actually uh, cover up the cost of like 2 months of yoga in India,
Wow.
or at least 1 month. Like these
But
days, the
still.
price have increased,
Yeah, but still.
and that was just 1 hour class.
Yeah, that
A
was
one
it.
hour
And actually,
class.
it wasn't even a full hour because we had to take pictures for the gram. Like it was like what 45 minutes, and they were like picture time. So
Wow.
it wasn't even a full hour of like, hardcore intense yoga. But it was, yeah, it was $40 per
$40.
person
Mhm.
for helipad yoga, and it was just. I mean, it was a nice session, but because
Was it
that was
nothing
the one
special?
class we did together. Not really. Like it's not foundational. It's not like if you're a real practitioner,
Right.
you'll be like, "Oh, but and then I feel like I am a real practitioner, but I like to go do stuff. So
Right.
that's why I like to, why especially here to try it.
Mhm.
But it's so basic. And then one time I went, and honestly I felt it was horrible. And it was kind of dangerous because you have people who are coming to these classes who are doing it for Instagram,
Mhm.
and they don't know how to do the poses, and the
Yeah.
instructor's not. Get to the
Instructing.
class. Let's get. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the people are like doing yoga poses and taking pictures at the same time, and it's really dangerous if you don't know what you're
Oh.
doing.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah,
Huh.
really, it's really, it's fun, but it is, once you look at the roots of it, it just is
Like
heartbreaking.
Mm.
like I started to watch YouTube videos to start the yoga thing, but what I found on YouTube was only American or people outside of India trying to
Mm.
teach yoga, like a 30-day yoga session or a challenge. Let's do that. And when I started